7 important questions you must ask at a job interview. This is for hiring managers. Most of our clients here at NewConfig, all of them to be honest, are hiring managers, companies that need help with hiring. And they ask us to coach them and give them advice about what are the best questions to ask during an interview so they're successful. They come to us because they have not been successful in filling roles. They don't have the time to search. They don't have the databases that we do. They don't have the acumen that we do. They need our advice and counseling and coaching, and that's what we provide. And one of the services we provide is coaching them on how to filter out bad candidates, fake candidates, bad candidates, baked candidates. Just get them out. And let's go through the 7 most important questions you should ask during a job interview. So, as a hiring manager, so the first thing you should ask is about salary. The first 3 are very easy and simple, but easy does it. Ask about salary. Make sure that either you ask at the beginning, or your recruiter asks, or your HR person asks. Whoever is doing it, make sure they are in your salary range, because you don't want to go through a whole process of interviewing the person and hiring the person only to find out that they are above your salary range. You just wasted your time, your boss's time, your analyst's time, everyone's time. So don't do that. If the person is above the salary that you're willing to pay, don't interview them. Find people that are in your salary range, or use NewConfig to help you. So that's number 1. And the same thing applies to the second question someone on your team or you should ask, and that's about on-site. I don't know if your role is on-site 100% 5 days a week, or hybrid 3 days a week, or 2 days a week, or 100% remote. This is less important if the role is remote, but most roles today are on-site, and they're becoming more on-site or hybrid as time passes on. As COVID passes us, we are already 4.5 years past COVID, soon it's going to be 5. So as time passes, more people are coming back to work in the office. So if that's important to you, you should ask that right away, or your recruiter needs to ask it, or the HR person on your team, the HR generalist, in the first round interview before the time of your boss and your manager's boss and your analyst. Everyone's time is wasted. Find out if they're within your salary range. Find out if they're willing to come on site. The third thing you should find out are benefits. Maybe they want 6 weeks vacation. You only offer 2. Maybe they want you to pay for them and their 10 kids. You only pay for the employee. Maybe there's other benefits. Maybe you don't have a 401k if you're a small business, or you do have one, but they want 5% match. You only offer 3% match. Make sure they have access to your benefits. Have that given to them on before the first round interview or during the first round interview. Discuss that. The HR person or you discuss, or if the recruiter, these are the 3 requirements before you do anything else, so they know that what's going on. The best way to do this is have it on your job ad, whether you're sending it to them through email, or you're posting it on LinkedIn or Monster, Career Builder, Dice, ZipRecruiter, Indeed, wherever you're posting it. Make sure they know the benefits, the salary, and your expectations about being in the office. So those are the 3 things just give away that you need to have down before anything else. Now the 4th thing you should ask them, which I recommend you ask, is what is the reason you're looking to leave your current employer? And this gives you an indication of what's going on with them. Are they going to badmouth their former employer or their current employer? That's a big red flag, because if they badmouth them today, tomorrow they're going to badmouth you. Are they going to give a very promising answer that they're just looking for growth in their career or in their skill set or responsibility or what have you? That would be a very good answer for them to give you. But you want to feel them out on why they're leaving, and especially if they've not been there long. You don't want job hoppers. I definitely do not recommend my clients to hire any job hoppers. So definitely find out what is the reason they're leaving. Ask them, what is the reason that you're with us today, that you're looking for a new role? And I like the question what, starting from what or how, is because it encourages people to corroborate, elaborate, and talk. It's not a yes or no question when you ask what and how. So it makes people want to work with you and give you a long answer to what's going on. Now the 5th thing I do recommend you ask is, where do they see themselves in 5 years? Now that's a good question for you to ask, to see what do they think about this job. Are they going to be with you long term? Because if you are hiring, like most of my clients that are hiring, and me when I do my hiring, we want people long term. We want something to be on our team for 5 years, 10 years, or maybe even retire with us if that's possible. We don't want job hoppers. We don't want people that just come in and leave all the time, because then I have to spend time, or my client have to spend time to retrain them, teach them again. That takes more time out of my day instead of doing what I like to do to grow NewConfig, or my clients like to do, grow their organizations or do more sales or whatever they're doing. They have to take time out of their day to train the person again. So that's what they don't want to do. So I don't recommend that you hire someone that says, well, in 5 years I want to be back at school, or in 5 years I want to move to Florida if I'm in Philadelphia, if the company's in Philadelphia, or in 5 years I want to change industries, or in 5 years I want to do X. The best answer, the only answer in my book is, in 5 years I want to be right here with you, helping you grow this organization. That's the right answer, and that's the only answer I could see that works for my clients and for myself, frankly. The last two important questions are really detailed on the type of person you're trying to hire. So if you're hiring a salesperson, I like to know what their quota is and if they're meeting their quota. So if they're not meeting their quota, that's a red flag. They should give you a good excuse why they're not. And if they're meeting their quota, you want to see how big their quota is. Is it comparable to what you're doing? If you're going to ask them for a quota of 2 or 3 million, and right now they have a quota of 100,000, no, that's not the type of person you want to hire. They don't have the relationships. You have to understand, if you hire that person, they have to start from scratch. So the salary must be lower. So definitely think of that. Definitely ask them what their quota is and are they meeting it? Another good question to that effect for sales would be, do they have a book of business? And if they have a non-compete, and if they don't have a non-compete and they have a book of business, that's great for you. They could bring that to your organization, and that means the ramp-up time for them to start producing business for you is a lot less. Now, the last question I recommend is not geared towards sales, it's geared toward IT and engineering. So if you have a role that's a programmer role, mechanical engineer role, a data scientist role, I definitely recommend you give them a coding challenge, or you give them a problem to solve, whether it's an engineering problem, and see how they do. Because a lot of people interview well, but when it comes to their code, which is horrible, when it comes to them their engineering skills, which are horrible, a lot of people could interview well, but they don't pass the technical part, which is the most important part. Interviewing well only helps you that one day, or maybe it helps them when they're dealing with clients, customer service. But the big part of a technical job is the technical work, so they should be able to do that. So these are the 7 things I recommend you do as a hiring manager. I hope this was useful for you. Click the like button, subscribe if you like this, and stay tuned for the next video.